Marjorie Taylor Greene has been running away from her own mess that she has created. She is partially responsible for the current climate and politics in our country, and do not forget that. Welcome to Fiore Unfiltered. My name is Goddess Fiore, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about Marjorie Taylor Greene. So I'm sure you've heard this name before. For those of you who don't really follow politics, that don't know who she is a congresswoman in the House of Representatives. She was just elected in 2020 and took office in 2021. So she's only been in a short few years, but she has really made a name for herself. She is one of the most controversial figures in American politics. She is known for voicing right-wing conspiracy theories.
Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene under fire from critics as an extremist promoter of baseless conspiracy theory. She suggested the Parkland and Sandy Hook school shootings were false flag operations and that the attacks of 9/11 were staged. She touted conspiracies from the fringe group QAnon.
2 years ago, when wildfires were ravaging hundreds of thousands of acres in California and killing 85 people, Marjorie Taylor Greene weighed in from Georgia on Facebook. In a post recently unearthed by Media Matters, Greene theorized a laser beam from space started the deadly 2018 California wildfire. Not just any laser beam from space, but one controlled by wealthy Jewish bankers who wanted to clear land in order to make way for a high-speed rail project.
And accusing other politicians of crimes without any evidence.
I just want to say to Nancy Pelosi, she's a hypocrite, she's an anti-American, and we're going to kick that bitch out of Congress.
Did you say, referring to Speaker Pelosi, she's a traitor to our country, she's guilty of treason, she took an oath to protect the American citizens, she gives aid and comfort to our enemies who illegally invade our land. That's what treason is. And our law representatives and senators can be kicked out and no longer serve in our government. And it's a crime punishable by death, is what treason is. Nancy Pelosi is guilty of treason. Did you say those words?
I said, this is what I was telling you, she doesn't uphold our laws.
It's a simple yes or no question, ma'am.
I mean,
Did you say those words?
Without being instructed by him to say yes or no.
I don't agree, Your Honor. This is cross-examination. She's entitled to an answer to my question, not a speech sheet.
Did you say these words that are quoted on the bottom? Did you say that?
according to the CNN article I did, I don't remember.
You recall saying?
I don't recall saying all of this, but I do recall having said this about I totally disagree with the border issues.
She has called for a national divorce.
According to GOP Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, the solution is a national divorce. That is a direct quote. She tweeted this week that we need to separate by red states and blue states and shrink the federal government. Everyone I talk to says this, from the sick and disgusting woke culture issues shoved down our throats to the Democrats' traitorous America Last policies. We are done.
And she has supported extreme actions against other politicians.
So what we found was that Marjorie Greene in 2018 and 2019, and this is before she ran for Congress, she was a conservative commentator, posted on Facebook a lot. She repeatedly indicated that she supported executing Democratic members of Congress, including House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. There was a post in which, and this is really graphic stuff, somebody said, a bullet to the head would be an easier way to remove Pelosi, and Greene liked that comment. She also repeatedly liked these comments about executing members of the FBI who she claimed were part of the deep state conspiracy against President Trump. And sort of the backdrop to this was she was leading this petition to impeach Pelosi, saying she was guilty of treason. And she gave many speeches in support of this. And many of those actually also, suggested that Pelosi could be executed for treason.
So this was her short few years ago. And now this is what she's saying.
And I would like to say humbly, I'm sorry for taking part in the toxic politics. It's very bad for our country. And it's been something I've thought about a lot, especially since Charlie Kirk was assassinated.
So she's obviously changed her tune quite a bit. And I speculate why it is that she has suddenly changed her mind. I think part of it might be that her family and friends have been getting to her. She says that the Charlie Kirk assassination had a lot to do with it. That has maybe turned her off from politics, is what she's saying. So recently, you may know that she's become quite an advocate for the Epstein victims. She's been speaking in public with them and going against what Trump has been pushing, because as we all know, Trump has been trying to prevent the Epstein files from being released in any way, shape, and form that he possibly can. So she has been very vocal about supporting the Epstein victims and releasing the files, and he is not happy about this. After she voiced public support for the Epstein victims, he started calling her a traitor.
Standing up for American women who were raped at 14 years old, trafficked and used by rich, powerful men should not result in me being called a traitor and threatened by the President of the United States, whom I fought for.
This is what happens when you are disloyal to Trump, or what he considers to be disloyal in his eyes, is he will publicly bash you, and he knows that all his supporters and minions, all the people with real Trump derangement syndrome, are going to go after you and threaten you. And that's exactly what's happened. She's had a barrage of threats against her since President Trump called her out publicly.
The most hurtful thing he said, which is absolutely untrue, is he called me a traitor. And that is so extremely wrong.
Did you say, referring to Speaker Pelosi, she's a traitor to our country, she's guilty of treason?
And those are the types of words used that can radicalize people against me and put my life in danger.
And it's really interesting to me that people like her act surprised when President Trump turns against them. He has a long history of doing this. He's done this to many people who have worked for him. Once Trump sees somebody as disloyal or they don't agree with something that he says, he attacks them and he goes full force against them, which again brings a barrage of hate and threats against them. The fact that anyone would continue to support Trump publicly and be at his beck and call when he wants things done is beyond me, because there are so many people that Trump, once they go against him, or if they speak out against him, if they don't like something he did, that he will attack them full force. It is no surprise that this is what happens when Marjorie Taylor Greene goes against Trump. I'm very shocked that she is surprised that this is happening, but this is the case. This is the situation we're in right now. And so Marjorie Taylor Greene will be resigning, I think, this coming January or so. Good riddance. Just because she's choosing to do the right thing now, it doesn't erase everything that she's done or said in the past. And I want you to remember who Marjorie Taylor Greene is. And although I do support a lot of what Marjorie Taylor Greene is saying right now, such as that the U.S. needs to be less divided. Let's listen to what she says here.
I have something in my heart that I think is incredibly important for our country, and that is to end the toxic fighting in politics. And this has been going on for years, and it has divided our country, split up friends and families, neighbors, and it's not solving our problems.
So although it seems that she does regret some of her comments, let's not forget that one of my biggest memories of Marjorie Taylor Greene is harassing the victim of a school shooting when she claimed that it was a false flag operation. Let's play that clip.
David, why are you supporting the red flag laws? If Scott Peterson, the resource officer at Parkland, had done his job, then Nicholas Cruz wouldn't have killed anybody in your high school, or at least protected them. Why are you supporting red flag gun laws that attack our Second Amendment rights? And why are you using kids as a barrier? Do you not know how to defend your stance? Tell him walk it. He's got nothing to say. Sad. He has nothing to say because there really isn't anything to say, you guys. He has nothing to say because he's paid to do this. Guess what? I'm a gun owner. This guy with his George Soros funding and his major liberal funding has got everything. I want you to think about that. That's where we are. And he's a coward. He can't say one word because he can't defend his stance.
and she has no right to demean my son's memory with her conspiracy theories. She just has no right. And we need to speak out because we need to take that right away from her.
What do you say to, you have the message to her, but what do you say to her? She's not the only one with these conspiracy theories. Anyone who spreads these conspiracy theories or these call these events, this one in particular, but others as well, false flags.
You know, it's really sad right now. It seems like with the culture that we're all living in, unless it touches a person directly, we look away.
She can sit here and play that she's a supporter of victims and that she's watching out for them and standing up for them. But do not forget that in the past, she has harassed victims. And while she is apparently in full support of acting more professional in politics, at the same time, she's still supporting President Trump. And she is one of the main reasons that Trump is in office right now.
I have fought harder than almost any other elected Republican to elect Donald Trump and Republicans to power.
Her actions have gotten us to the point where we are. She's talking about how families are divided. She is one of the reasons for this. Do not forget that. And she can play nice and speak in a nice, calm voice. This is not how she has been for the last 5 years that we've seen her in office. Do not let her fool you. This is the same woman who has harassed shooting victims, who has caused our country to be so divided over the last few years. So do not let her fool you. Yes, you know, it's okay to accept somebody's apology and forgive them if their actions show that they are truly sorry, but whether or not she is remains to be seen. Thank you for watching. My name is Goddess Fiore. This is Fiore Unfiltered. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, let me know what you think. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more content like this, and I'll see you in the next one.